So listen, the last week that I had was a very interesting one, to say the least. Even with the week that I had, I feel like it was a really good week. I ended up having to rush to the hospital and spend the day in labor and delivery, which is way too early for that. We had a little bit of a scary moment and rushed to the hospital just to make sure that baby was doing okay. It's crazy because that was a day that I'll probably never want to relive, but at the same time it was completely insane, but it was probably the most beautiful day that we've had, Jesus, as a family of 3. I think most peaceful, but also the worst day ever. But not the worst day ever because he's okay, he's healthy, he's okay. On top of that, our car was hit by someone else, so we were in a car accident that wasn't anything too crazy. But aside from that stuff, it's crazy because it's like I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about everything that we've had to figure out just in the last 7 days, and I don't know, I just feel like there's so much more power in embracing the gratitude and embracing the positive in things, as opposed to dwelling on what didn't feel so great, because you can find both in absolutely anything. It just depends on whether or not you want to. So, a little backstory. My little baby has not had his space restricted ever since the day that we found out that I was pregnant. Like, literally, I think up until week 20, I didn't wear anything except for my husband's boxers and his t-shirt. So he's always had unlimited space to grow. So now that he's a big baby, I think he's very used to not having his space restricted. And I mean, if anything is leaning on my stomach or touching my stomach, he just immediately goes karate mode and starts karate chopping it. But anyway, they decided to put the baby heart monitor on my stomach just to monitor him and make sure he was okay. And I've been to all of my prenatal appointments. You get to hear your baby's heartbeat, but it's usually for like a couple of minutes. What happened is, I think when they were doing the test, he's a super calm, chill baby, so he was just chill, just the kid has a lot of heart. So they had the monitor on my stomach, and I can tell he woke up because he starts moving a little bit and he kind of tapped it a couple times. But I had looked at the heart monitor, and I noticed that when he was kicking, his heart rate, it went from like 139 to 171 really fast. When his heart rate went up, all I said was, "Hi, baby," which I usually say hi to him in the mornings when I get up. I'll say, "Good morning, baby." I'm always speaking to him, always talking to him, but all I said was, "Hi, baby." As soon as I said it, like, his heart rate, it went from 171 down to like 135. When I saw that, I was like, wait, what? He sat still for a second, and then he went right back to karate mode, starts kicking the monitor again, trying to kick it off of my stomach. And I did it again, because in my head, I'm like, did he just calm down because I said hi to him? So I was like, no way, there's no way. I was like, that was probably a coincidence. So his heart rate, it went back up because he was kicking. It went back up to the 170s. And I said it again. I said, "Hi, baby." Sure enough, this kid sat still again. And his heart rate went back down to 130 something. And I'm like, this is insane. I call my husband and I'm like, "Come here." Because he's all the way on the other side of the room in the chair. Because I mean, we're not doing anything. We're just waiting for them to come back and tell us, what's going on. I told him, I was like, every time I say hi to him or talk to him, his heart rate goes back down. He's like, "What?" So my husband does the same thing. He said, "What's up, man?" And his heart rate goes back down. That moment was like the most beautiful thing I had ever seen, because dude, you spend so much time stressing and worried about whether or not you're doing a good job. You're constantly thinking about them as if they're like a separate thing that is like completely unaware of you. But that moment was eye-opening in the most beautiful way, because it's like, dude, this kid is just as aware of us. The fact that just our voices calmed him so much so quickly, like, even though that was a day that was extremely terrifying and both of us felt like the entire world had ended, I would not trade it for the world, because that's a memory that I will probably cherish for the rest of my life. It's our first baby and we love him so much already. To know that that love is felt enough in some kind of way to where us talking to him was soothing, I would not trade anything for that day. It was like a peek into his world, seeing his little heart react to us talking to him in real time. Don't even know how to explain what emotion that was. I'm extremely grateful. My family is healthy. Baby is healthy. We're okay. You can sit there and dwell on all the things that are scary or terrible or bad, there's always something good. Always. You just gotta look for it sometimes. And the more you do it, you know, the quicker you'll be able to identify the good. Even with the accident, the other lady's car was damaged pretty bad, but surprisingly, the only thing that got damaged on her car was the hubcap. And the thing is, like, even with the hubcap getting damaged, I almost kind of want to just take the hubcaps off of the other tires on the car, because the tire is absolutely gorgeous underneath the hubcap. I had no idea that was even under there. There's so much to be thankful for, so much to be grateful for. I'm so thankful. Looking at the damage to her car and the damage to mine, it makes no sense, because you would think that the impact was so much greater than what it was. When inside the car, it felt like a literal tap. Ishard was in the back seat of the car, and he was like, what just happened? I'm like, we just got hit, dude. So yeah, if there's anything that I have carried throughout my entire pregnancy, and I hope to pass on to my son and also carry throughout the rest of my pregnancy and the rest of my life, it's to just, man, be grateful. Even when it's hard, like, just take a second, breathe, and just know that there's so much to be grateful for outside of the things that happen that are inconvenient and frustrating and feel just absolutely stupid. There's so much good that comes out of everything. So I am ending my day with a lot of gratitude in my heart, because there's so much more power in carrying that as opposed to carrying frustration and anger and every other thing that just doesn't feel good. So yeah, we are 30 weeks pregnant. Woo! Baby is huge, and we're gonna keep on going, man. Keep going, keep growing, keep flowing, and see where this party goes. So be grateful.